started getting loads of DMs in Mandarin, and one of them was in English. It's like, mate, you're famous in China. I was like, what do you mean? And it had got something like 80, 75 million views.
So if you
on
like
there.
got off the...
I watched a fair few of yours. What was it? Is it Maximilian or Maximus?
It was Maximus Bucharest.
Bucharest,
Yeah, that was the video that
Kick
kind
class.
of allowed me to kind of do YouTube full time, just
Yeah.
because it was just a video that banged more than.
What's the concept behind that? Like the thought process of creating the most ridiculous. Like, what was it? Maximus Bucharest by Maximus Bucharest for Maximus
Yeah, so that's what the kind of the idea came about, and so the way that whole thing started was that I'd moved down to London, just finished Newcastle. I was working in a bar. I'd made lots of videos, but was on maybe like 1,500 subscribers and maybe 10,000 likes on Facebook. And I walked past Zac on the street, and I messaged him on Instagram being like, hey mate, you ever need someone to film for you? And weirdly, he did. So then I became like part of his channel and Zac and Jay. And then after about 3 months of knowing them, they messaged me saying, hi mate, we've got this idea to like break you into London Fashion Week. The problem is London Fashion Week finishes in 2 days' time. So
didn't you just do it right at the end?
We did it right at the end. So it's like, can we meet at yours and just discuss this? And so at that point, I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. They've got like 30,000 subs. I really like their content. Just to be in a video of theirs would be really, really cool. And so we chatted. We went to Primark. We were dressed in silly things. And then
feel comfortable walking into Primark? Just
yeah.
Sake, man.
Can we just reiterate that Charlie also went to private school?
Yes, I felt very comfortable walking to Primark, we basically dressed in stupid stuff. Went to this fashion week outside where all the shows were, and we got someone to start flashing the camera and just shouting, "Max, Max, over here." And then that caused loads of paparazzis just to start swarming. And then
so clever,
from then it just started to snowball. So then when I was my whole like character was to act like a total dick. So not to speak to anyone. If anyone asked for a picture, like, you have to speak to my manager.
Sorry,
like,
did you say character there?
So it was quite an easy character. And like we filmed that, and it kind of snowballed from there. So we got invited to like a show the next day. So that's when we went proper outlandish. Like we'd got like bubble packaging tape from boxes that you get, and like wore it as a collar. Zac had like shoes that he'd shoes when he'd been in like spend a night in a cell after doing like a jib, and so like we brought all of these things together. I bought Jamie Vardy's autobiography and like read it at this fashion show, and then what was great is that there was loads of shots of like the actual fashion press like covering this this show, but then you can always see me in the second row with this enormous like bubble crown on,
for God's sake,
and like a pink rug.
With things like that, are you nervous in them situations, or do you like thrive in them?
No, I was terrified.
Really?
I was
really?
absolutely terrified. Like I'm a proper at school. I was like a proper like goody two shoes. Like I never really got into trouble, and so doing that was like my worst nightmare. Like not breaking the rules, but just being a bit of a nuisance and like pranksters. And I felt very like YouTube pranky.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's strange because with your videos, all of your videos seem to be you pushing yourself out your comfort zone.
yeah, I think in those scenarios with my videos, it's because I'm legitimately allowed to be there, because it's like it might be an odd scenario, but I've got a ticket, or they know I'm coming, or it seems like people are aware that I'm there. But I have to say I have got better because of that video, because I realised actually what's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to kick you out and say, please don't come back. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, literally, that's the worst that will happen.
So that video just kind of, oh God, it went so viral. Like initially, I remember saying to my sister,
Must be nice.
yeah, but it was annoying because it wasn't on my channel. So
I suppose,
Zac and Jay, they grew from like 30,000 subs to about 300k
Mental.
within a month.
Did it get 10 million? Was it 10 million?
It's now
Am I
it's
exaggerating?
hit 20 million
20?
on YouTube.
Fucking hell, they must be eating well.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
it then kind of went to the next level when it went to Weibo, the like Chinese social media, because someone nicked it, took it off.
I remember you talking about that on
YouTube.
Happy Hour about how
Yeah.
you're like now famous in China.
Yeah, I was famous in China for about a month because I started getting loads of DMs in Mandarin, and one of them was in English. It's like, mate, you're famous in China. I was like, what do you mean? It's like someone had re-uploaded it to Weibo because they're not allowed YouTube with Mandarin subtitles, and it had got something like 80, 75 million views.
So if you
on
like
there.
got off if you got off at like the airport in China, would you get swarmed?
So there was we tried
We
immediately.
love street smart.
Give us more. So we tried to do. We spent maybe a couple of weeks making content for Weibo.
That's
So,
unreal.
with Maximus Bucharest, we had this guy who was based in Amsterdam, but he was originally from China, who was like adding all the subtitles for us because I'd read all of these stories of people who had like gone viral in China and they had basically like been set for life because they'd done like one meet and greet in China or sold some items in China and gone mad.
So did that do well for you?
Not really. I think we just ran out of steam.
That'd be so funny if you just went to China just to see if anyone like recognised you. I mean, in China, like I have ginger mates that have been to China and they get swarmed because they have ginger hair.
Oh yeah, if you're ginger, if you're black, if you're white, like I was white and bald when I went there, and they stare and look
That's
at you,
it.
and then they just want to touch. Okay, well, okay, but it's anything that's weird. They just weird to them.
Yeah,
they'll,
I
be like,
I just
oh,
said
really interesting. Yeah, no, it's they don't attack you, but
No, I don't think they're gonna shank you up. No, they just take photos of you.
no, but that's also the strange thing that they literally stand there and like take a picture of you. Which I
Like they would,
That's quite
some
cute.
of them were stroking my mates like ginger hair and that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stroking it because they'd never like seen it or felt it before.
They have it's,
So
it's very,
weird.
it's very intriguing. But I think that if you did go to China, that'd be such a good follow-up video.
Well, I think is I did. I went to China for a video in which I stole Zac and Jay's
Yeah, I
plaque.
remember watching that.
So I stole their 100k subscriber plaque and just went to China with it because I wanted to go
As you
as
do.
far as well.
I hope that wasn't this year.
No, that wasn't this year. No, it was actually
Max
this.
caused the pandemic.
It's actually in Wuhan, funnily enough.
Max, what you doing with that bat?
So yeah, I went to China for a video in which I stole their plaque and left it in Shanghai. And unfortunately, there was no swarms of fans when I stepped off the airport.
Maybe
Were
it's
you
the bubble
almost
collar.
disappointed?
Yeah,
you missed
I
the
was
bubble
really
collar.
disappointed. I was kind of expecting.
Should have went in outfit that you
Yeah.
wore that day as well.
Yeah, so it was a weird experience where my channel kind of grew massively from like 1,000 subscribers to like 70k in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And so although like they obviously kind of really benefited from that because it was on their channel, I don't begrudge that at all because it meant that I could start doing YouTube full time.